What's up, everybody? How you doing today? Puppy Pot and Chill, number 624. I'm here with Munch, of course. He's right here being a pain in the butt. And I got some news. Got my bowl loaded. I did take a hit because I wanted to take a hit. And it's my pot. I can do what I want. Like I said, I do got some news. So I say we jump right into it. In Biden's push for gun control, he spread some misinformation, fake news about gun shows. He said that you can buy them easily from gun shows. You cannot. You can't buy them right then and there. You still have to go through an FFL. That's a lie. Anyway, the people making gun laws have no idea what guns really are and how they work. No matter what gun laws Biden puts on the books, it will not affect the criminals because the criminals do not follow the law. So the laws absolutely do not stop bad guys from doing bad things. What the laws do is it keeps the honest man honest. That's really about it. Just like the Mass for Public Safety, they need to, they need to enforce the laws for public safety as well. The laws we have on the books, we need to implement not a stop and frisk, but something like that for the sake of the public safety. I mean, that's how we get the illegal guns off the streets. Because trust me, it'd be a pain in the butt for me since I carry. But, it would be worth it for me to go through a stop and frisk and have to go through all the BS that goes along with it if illegal guns are getting taken off the streets. So those that don't want the stop and frisk probably have good reasons they don't want to get caught with a gun. Like, they shouldn't have it. All right, here we go. AOC under Trump called the border facilities concentration camps. You remember that? She went down there and had the photo op of her crying on the fence. Oh, poor people. And she called them concentration camps. Remember that? Munch, really? Dude, quit licking me. But remember that? She called them concentration camps. She made a big deal about how it was so horrible. Well, Trump actually closed the children's centers down because they were so bad. He didn't use them. Biden opened them back up because he created a fiasco down there saying he wouldn't turn anybody away. Well, that made people think that they had to hurry up and get up here. So there's a big rush for the border, and it turned into one hell of a fiasco. Taking a hit. So anyway, AOC called these border facilities concentration camps. Now under Biden, she calls them influx facilities with a controversial record. She's an evil, ignorant suant, I swear. To say something like that is just beyond hypocritical. And when I say suant, I mean C-U-N-T, can't understand normal thinking. She cannot. She's such a lying bitch. Oh, I mean, she's lying and fucking changing the way she's changing the words of what she's calling it just because of the administration. There are children sleeping under bridges, under those fucking aluminum or tinfoil blankets, whatever they are, because of Biden. She's such a lying bitch. Jimmy Kimmel and Hunter Biden were labeled as dumb and dumber as they joke about Hunter being a crackhead. Kimmel's just garbage. I mean, they were joking about how Hunter Biden was clucking and picking Parmesan cheese off the floor and smoking it. Now, why would he talk about something like that? Well, he needs to sell the book to make money so he can buy more crack. Because Hunter Biden's a crackhead. Yeah, Jimmy Kimmel's just a piece of shit. Biden is building the border wall to fill the gaps. He actually said he needs to build more border wall to fill the gaps because of the crisis on the border. And I think he's going to do it. Why? Well, because Trump was right and Biden was wrong. Horribly wrong. AOC was wrong. Kamala Harris was wrong. Not just a little bit wrong, but way fucking wrong. They should just admit it and move on. Accept that they fucked up, re-implement Trump's things, and admit they fucked up. Either that or fix what they fucked up, which I don't think they can. Yeah, I don't know. AOC is running around lying about it, trying to cover up the scandal about the fiasco down at the border wall, and that's terrible enough. Kamala Harris, who's supposed to be in charge, hasn't gone down to visit it yet. That's pretty fucking bad. And to top it off, the Republicans aren't doing fucking shit. They're literally sitting with their thumbs up their ass. It's fucking sad. Our representatives aren't doing diddly fucking shit. I hate them all. The prosecution against Derek Chauvin collapses as witnesses for the state crumble on the stand under cross-examination. The MMA pro crumbled as he was forced to admit that a blood choke requires both carotid arteries to be compressed and that there is absolutely no way a knee to the back of the neck can do that, like I've been saying. So he was forced to admit that on stand, and he looked like a moron, because that's what he is a fucking moron who doesn't like police and thought he could lie and get away with it. Instead, he ended up looking like a dumbass on stand. Because there's absolutely no way a knee in the back of the neck can do that, period. Just can't. The physical force professional, under oath, admitted that Chauvin had used a lesser form of restraint. Yes. In all actuality, he said that Chauvin could have used even more harsh methods to restrain George Floyd, up to using the taser. But he chose a lesser form of restraint, perhaps to de-escalate the situation. It may even be that there is something that came up where they were saying that George Floyd and Chauvin had actually worked together. And they were saying that maybe this is the reason that Chauvin wanted to kill him. But in all reality, maybe Derek Chauvin saw him, and instead of using a harsh form of restraint, said, "Oh, wow, I know this guy. I'm going to use a lesser form of restraint." I mean, you decide for yourself, but it's all kind of questionable and up in the air. When it comes out, it's just my opinion. The Chauvin will be acquitted, as the burden of proof lies on the state, not on Chauvin. And all they need is probable cause. With the collapse of the prosecution, reasonable doubt is piling up, literally. And the defense is yet to be heard. I mean, the state is the one that needed to prove that Chauvin acted in a certain way to kill George Floyd, and they just did not. Everything fell apart. From the doctor, the MMA professional, to the force expert, the physical force expert, it all crumbled. It all made Derek Chauvin look like he actually used less form of restraint than necessary. Could have used a harsher form of restraint, and it shows that George Floyd, the doctor had to admit that George Floyd, if she'd have seen him come in on into her, I hate to say it, but if she'd have seen him just on her slab without knowing anything, she would have said it was George Floyd had died of heart disease. And then after getting the talks back, she would have said that he would have died of drug overdose. So everything failed for the state. And like I said, the defense is yet to get up. When the defense gets up at the end, they're going to say, look, they failed. We showed so much reasonable doubt, it's ridiculous. And I believe that they're going to acquit George Floyd, which means a bunch of low information, ignorant people are going to riot a lot because they feel that they had been screwed over, because they actually believe in their hearts that Chauvin killed George Floyd, because they were unwilling to accept or learn the truth. George Floyd didn't want to be arrested, so he ate the drugs to avoid getting arrested in a drug deal. Before he was even pulled out of the cruiser, he was saying he couldn't breathe, which to me means he started to OD then. He wanted to be put on the ground. He was ODing then and saying he couldn't breathe. George Floyd died of a drug overdose, and he did it to himself. I'm sorry. That's my opinion. There's a opinion that was mentioned in the trial that the onlookers were partly responsible for the death of George Floyd because of their presence and the way they acted towards the police and George Floyd, and their fear of escalation of the situation. They felt they needed to make sure to keep George Floyd subdued because of what the crowd of onlookers might do, their reaction, and how it might influence the situation and possibly harm Floyd. So that was brought up in trial, that the crowd screaming and berating and making threatening gestures were partly responsible for the death of George Floyd. Think about that. Falcon and the Winter Soldier went woke with a BLM message mid-episode. Because of the BLM message, tons of people shut off the episode, refusing to watch. And it can be proved when they shut off the movie. Right at the time of the message. People are tired of the political message. So when it came across their screen, they were like, nope, no more. And Falcon and the Winter Soldier got woke, and got shut off. People just do not like that shit. I don't. That's why I've sworn off sports. I refuse to watch the sports. Because they're low information idiots trying to make a political statement. They shouldn't. They're not smart enough to make a statement. They should stick to sports, what they know. Throwing and catching a football, kicking a ball, throwing a ball through a hoop. Those are the things they're good at. Yeah? 3 or 4. I'm doing a live feed. Anyway, so they got woke and got shut off. Sorry about that. My roommate hollered at me. Like I said, the movie is shut off the same time by everybody after the message. Recently released, police prepare for more riots and unrest in coming summer months. Riots and unrest may be here to stay. Why? Because people are tired of it. And some people just like to riot. They like to destroy things, so they're going to continue. Biden, in another flash of ignorance, says the guns are the epidemic in America. This is how Democrats' little brains operate. The problem with them are the guns, not the mentally ill and criminals that are behind the guns. No, the guns are the problem. Even though I've set my gun down and told it to go out and kill many times, and it just sits there. So I don't know, whatever. Florida man, this is for Steve. Florida man wearing a shirt saying that he has drugs is arrested for possession of drugs. Go Florida man. All right. All right, guys. Always remember, you got to be 21 in the state where it's legal to smoke marijuana. If you're not 21 in the state where it's legal, just don't do it. And don't listen to me. I'm a stoner. All right? If I said something that intrigues you, by all means, look it up for yourself and you find out what you think the truth is, because that's all that really matters. What you think the truth is. Anyway, peace. I love you fuckers. Stay high, bitches.